What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So previously on this channel, y'all heard me really criticize Shakur Stevens' performance against Edwin De Los Santos. And I talked about how it was a lackluster performance considering that Shakur was talking so with all his bravado, talking like a gorilla, talking like he was an absolute killer in that ring, and how he just be talking so heavy and crazy. In a performance like this, where this is not a pay-per-view performance, where people will be up at night wanting to see something on TV, it's like a showcase for you to really put on an ultimate, outstanding performance. You give a lackluster, boring fight all the way around. And I talked about him jumping back as if Edwin De Los Santos pulled a damn jackknife on him. The way he was jumping back every time it looked like Edwin De Los Santos was about to throw. How he just was extremely tentative. How he refused to engage with him because I feel like he was afraid of Edwin De Los Santos' power. Right? So after every majority of the people called it a boring fight, like people like, yo, this is just not a fight you want to put on to get people interested and get people rallying behind you. Meanwhile, ESPN's commentary, I told y'all their commentary is trash to me. Extremely biased. Tim Bradley is the culprit, the first culprit behind it. All he would do is try to make every excuse in the book for Shakur for putting on a performance like that, try to cover for him, and his excuse after the fight, Shakur was still controlling majority of the fight. He was controlling the rounds, and he was really the one, controlling every single thing in the ring. Let a PBC guy get in there and perform like that. Matter of fact, let that have been Tank Davis. I promise you he would have been saying Tank's scared. Tank can't be a gorilla. The way how heavy Tank talk, it can't be for real with how he fighting like that. Tank is afraid to get in there and mix it up with guys. Tank is afraid of other people's power. You would have heard all of that to the end. But because it's Shakur, his little brother, his little homie, his little brother, he want to cover and protect him. And Shakur's an ESPN top-ranked guy as a fighter, top-ranked fighter. I'm like, yo, what? Like Tim Bradley, they want to just come out and lay down this protection for Shakur for a horrible performance. Like Shakur or not, you cannot tell me that performance was terrible. It was. And I don't even believe Shakur was hurt for real. If that's the case, what did he say? He hurt his right hand or something like that? What was it? Why your grandfather, your coach, your trainer still telling you to throw that hand? If you hurt that hand. If that hand was hurt, why is your grandfather telling you to throw that same hand? If you hurt, your trainer, your coach would be the first one to know that you hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong. He would be the first one to know. He telling you to throw it? He wouldn't do that if you was really, really hurt. Shakur out here, the fact of the matter is Shakur's afraid to mix it up and get in there and fight dudes that he feel like got pop. If he feel like you got pop, he gonna fight a fight just like that to keep himself safe and protected. And if you fighting like that against Tank Davis, he's gonna land. I don't know what y'all think Tank Davis is. He's not just a guy that's a brawler. He will find out a way to damn sure hit Shakur Stevens, and he will. And when he hits Shakur, he's gonna make Shakur feel it in a way he ain't never felt a punch before in his life. That's why I got Tank beating Shakur by knockout. For real, if he gonna fight jump back like that, like a jackknife being pulled on him every single time he fight Tank, I promise you, it's good night, Irene. That's all she wrote. Now my son's sitting here watching this Miss Rachel on TV, so I'm watching him. But yeah, man, like it's so funny to me. Tim Bradley and them always want to shit on PBC fighters, call them all this trash and how they scared. How every time they go up against a big test, they fail. They're afraid to put them in there against the big top guys because they know what'll happen to them. They know this will happen and that'll happen. Shakur is a talented fighter, right? Defensively, he's supremely gifted. And I feel like, yes, he got a way of not being hit like a lot of other people don't. But I promise you, Tank Davis will find out a way to hit Shakur. He really will. And I don't think Shakur can take Tank Davis's punching power. I'm sorry. I don't think he can take his punching power. And Tim Bradley would like to tell you that Tank is the least, he'll get beat by all the guys. Just because he don't like Tank, because Tank said Tim Bradley was ass as a fighter. That's really what it come down to. He really speaking from a point of hate and his dislike for Tank. I promise you, Tank is much gifted than what people believe. And he's going to show y'all time and time again. I really believe he beat all. I think Tank beat all of them. And I really like Devin Haney. I think Shakur's talented as a fighter. I just don't like how he be moving. I don't like that shit he pulled with that Lomachenko Devin Haney fight. That shit was cornballish to me. Lame as hell. Trying to pick up another fan base. The Lomachenko fan base and all that. Same way he's trying to pick up the Hispanic fan base by claiming Boricua now. Even though he's half Puerto Rican. But he was just a Negro at first. Now he want to claim the Boricua side because he know His fighting style is not fan friendly, and nobody's going to just stand behind him strictly just for the excitement of his fights. He got to do some other shit to gain other fan bases behind him. Like, say, Lomachenko really won and he got robbed and all that other bullshit. That if you really watch that fight, you will see that fight was razor thin close. It could have went either way, and I believe on a second watch, I see why I went to Devin Haney. But to act like it was a robbery, that was bullshit. And Shakur Stevenson know boxing better than to do that, but he did that to get a fan base galvanized behind him. The same fan base that's not fucking with him now and calling that fight trash and boring, because it was. But my point is, Tim Bradley and them, they got all this salt to throw on all the PBC guys. What you won't catch them criticizing Shakur for that lackluster, terrible ass snooze fest that he put on Thursday night. That's why Bob got him fighting on Thursday nights like that, because he put on shows like that. Like I said before, my father was a boxing fan, watching Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, watching Sugar Ray Leonard, watching Ali, watching George Foreman, watching Eastern Assassin. What my man name? Larry Holmes. My dad grew up watching all these individuals, right? Loving them. He fell away from boxing. I'm trying to bring my father back into the fold of boxing. I had him watching Tank Davis. He loves Tank, because Tank got that boom, right? I had him watching Devin Haney and Lomachenko now, right? I can't, what? If I'd have had my daddy watching Shakur Stevenson fight, he'd have cussed me out for how trash that performance was and how horrible Shakur looked in that. But yet and still, Tim Bradley and them not gonna say nothing about it. They're gonna make all these excuses for him. He's sick. All this and all of that, and he's sick and all that. He wouldn't have never let nothing stand like that with a PBC fighter. Let that been Errol Spence. Let it been Tank Davis in there looking like that. I promise you. He been like he want to take up for his boys now, his boy Shakur now, and cover for him. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know. Right now, the way he's scared to get hit, shit, Devin might put on something on Shakur. Shakur talented, but I don't know. Like, who knows? But if he better, hey now. And the problem with Shakur is, if he doesn't have a whole bunch of physical advantages over a fighter, if he's not faster than him, stronger than him, bigger than him, he needs to have a sizable amount of advantages. Then he'll turn it into a dogfight. Then you'll see him pull out all the tricks. Then you'll see him be a more aggressive fighter. Then he'll throw his punches more. Then he'll try to sit down on his punches when he knows he has all these advantages, like against Jamel Herring, etc., right? When he get in there with a De Los Santos who can crack, who can hit, who got a nice amount of knockouts, then he's weary of it, he's shy about it, he's trying to stand back and standoffish. Tim Bradley, call this shit even. Don't just ride for the top rank guys and shit on PBC guys, because your guy look like boo-boo, and you know that he looked like trash. Cut it out. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.